This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man. That's a big twink.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a toy!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
You see these flying? We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
And welcome to World War G, episode 222. I'm Troy.
And I'm Colton.
Yep, we're keeping it in the family today.
Yeah.
It's all in the family.
We told AJ not to come.
Yeah.
We're phasing him out.
Now, AJ's actually gallivanting around southern Utah, and I think he's going to Mexico and California. And
I'm incredibly jealous.
me too. Yeah, I had to go to work while he was sending pictures of like him at Arches National Park.
I know. And like, I love to hike, but I don't like to hike locally. Like,
Yeah.
I like to go places and hike.
Yeah.
And so, like, what he's doing right now is my ideal vacation.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, he'll be back next week for you AJ fans, you juice heads. He won't like that. Okay. So Mountain Dew released this what's it called? Liberty Brew. It's limited edition, and they claim that it has 50 flavors in one.
So, one flavor from each state.
Mm-hmm.
What's Utah's flavor? Caffeine-free root beer?
I was gonna go for intolerance, but
Judgment.
judgment.
There's a
There-
small dose of judgment in this can.
That's our flavor. So
Get it.
open this up here. Now the can is very patriotic. It's all blue and it has the Statue of Liberty and
There's some eagles, a motorcycle.
motorcycle with the Liberty Bell on it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Statue of Liberty is riding the
Yeah,
motorcycle.
she's driving it.
Oh, okay, wow. Cowboy in the background.
It's blue. It's
It
like
is.
a voltagey color.
Yep.
Smells just like voltage.
Yeah, it does.
With like a lifesaver gummy.
Mm.
Tastes like Pop Rocks.
I was gonna say it tastes like Kool-Aid. Like that aftertaste is like Kool-Aid to me. Like you drink it and in your mind you're just tasting blue. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it is. It tastes like blue.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
We could be considered racist for drinking it.
It's true.
Any sort of pride to be American, you're considered a racist. So this is our racist juice. I do like it though.
It's not bad.
I don't
It's-
think I could drink a lot of it.
No.
It's very sweet.
It's like anytime you get a candy or something that's like blue raspberry or just tastes berry or
Mhm.
that's what it tastes like. Just that generic.
Yeah, I still
Blue
get the Pop Rocks. Like,
Really?
and then with the combining it with the burniness of the carbonation,
Yeah.
definitely Pop Rocks.
All right. But I mean, it's of the Mountain Dew flavors, it's not bad.
Where did you find it? Walmart? 7-Eleven?
Smith's actually.
Smith.
Yeah.
Importer of fine Liberty brews.
Yes. And I'm glad that it tastes good because I bought a 12-pack. That's all I could find. So.
Yeah, not bad.
All right.
Cool. Well, let's roll into our stories here. This is for all of you Star Wars fans. Coming to Xbox and PlayStation and the PC in November is Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order, which tells the story of Cal Kestis, who is a Jedi Padawan who survived Order 66. Cal had been hiding from the Empire the best he could to ensure his survival, but they eventually catch up with him, and he's forced to survive as the Inquisition hunts him down. As you'll see, Forrest Whitaker's character Shaw Guerrera also appears in the game, and of course, there's also a new droid. Did you watch the the cinematic trailer for this?
I did, yes.
It looks fun.
It does look
It's been
fun.
a long time since they've had a good Star Wars game.
It's been a minute, yes.
Well, what was the last one? Knights of the Old Republic?
Probably, yeah.
But, man, I miss Star Wars games. And this one, you'll actually get to be a Jedi, which is nice. Because, I mean, there's Battlefront, where you can be a Jedi for like 20 seconds until you die.
Yeah. But this, what I like is watching the gameplay. It looks like they did a lot with the Jedi powers and force abilities. Like if someone is shooting a blaster at you, you can stop the bolts for a second and kind of maneuver around them and then attack them. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is really neat. Yeah, I'm super stoked. It's been a really long time since I've been excited for anything Star Wars related, even the movies. But I'll definitely be getting this.
When does it come out?
November.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Survive as the Inquisition hunts him down. All right. Yep. The Battlefield games weren't horrible. But
Or Battlefront. Sorry, I think I said Battlefield earlier.
Yeah, Battlefront. Yeah. I always get those mixed up. But yeah, like you said, you can only play Jedi for about 20 seconds, and they get really repetitive really quickly, and yeah. Yeah, but I think you're right, though. The Knights of the Old Republic, probably the last good one.
I played that on PC. They actually,
this was on Xbox.
This was 10 years ago. It was when I had my very first iPhone. They had a Jedi mobile game, and it was really fun. Tons of fun. And you were a Jedi, and you got to use all your Force powers. But
all right,
yeah, this will be fun.
What else might be fun?
Maybe.
Maybe. There's a new Blockbuster board game that'll give you, as they said here, all the childhood feels. Now, Blockbuster, as in the old video rental store, is what they're talking about. Yeah. And it even the whole game comes in a VHS type box.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So, what it is, it's by Big Potato Games, and the objective is simple: be the first team to collect one movie from all 8 genres: action, classic, comedy, horror, sci-fi, drama, animation, and family. It comes complete with a sound effect timer, and the actual board you play on is meant to replicate the parking lot of an old Blockbuster you actually used to have to drive to.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So it's basically, it looks like just from what I could tell, pretty much just kind of a movie trivia game. Which I tend to do fairly good at. My family won't play with me anymore when it comes to these.
You know what? It actually kind of looks like Pictionary. Like, because on the board here it says quote it, act it, one
true.
word. So it's you pick up a card and I don't know, maybe you have to try to describe the movie without, I don't know. I don't think I would be very good at this game. I am not the best at remembering. I can remember movie quotes from things that I've seen. I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen a ton of movies.
Yeah.
And I'm not very good under pressure, so I don't know how I would do. But it's 4 people and up, so it's not something that you can play with just your spouse or one friend. You have to have a group of people.
Yeah, it's $20.
Wow.
So
that's a spendy board game.
Yeah. I don't know. I may buy it. I don't know. But like I said, we had a board game here for a while called had something to do with popcorn or something. Anyway, it's a movie trivia game, and everyone stopped playing with me because I'd
just demolish them.
Yeah, just dominate. But
you were probably good at seeing it as well.
Yes, I was good at seeing it.
I loved seeing it.
Yeah.
That was a revolutionary game.
It was. Yeah, it was really cool.
Way ahead of its time.
Yeah, I don't always remember people's birthdays or their anniversaries or anything like that. But man, you can quote movies. I can quote movies. I can tell you the actors that were in them. I'm really good. I'm really good at 6 Degrees of Separation. That game. Yeah. I don't know how old my dad is. Go figure.
That's funny. So speaking of movies and games,
sure,
that's basically Blockbuster. Movies and games.
Movies and games.
It's a game about movies. And
this is a movie about a game.
Yeah,
it all works.
So Tom Holland has been cast in Uncharted to play Nathan Drake, and the release is set for 2020, which it's supposed to follow a young Nathan Drake and his adventures. I think that Tom Holland is a good choice for it. He's very athletic and acrobatic. Nathan Drake needs to be. There's a lot of parkour that's going to happen in this movie, I'm sure. He doesn't look anything like Nathan Drake.
He does not.
He definitely has a baby face. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Tom Holland with facial hair or if he can grow any sort of stuff.
I don't know if he can.
I feel like he would need to for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, he I don't even know how old Tom Holland is.
21.
He's 21? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so hopefully in the next couple of years he'll maybe see if he can age up a little bit.
You know.
Try really hard.
That kid needs to hit puberty.
He does.
Real fast.
Yeah. But I'm sure that they're setting this up for hopefully sequels down the road, and yeah, we'll see if this is the video game movie that actually succeeds.
Here's what I'll do, because I've never played Uncharted before.
Yeah,
I will wait to get the games until I see this movie.
All right,
and I'll do the opposite of what everyone else is going to do. Like I'll see the movie first and then play the game instead of playing the game first.
Interesting.
And see which one I like more.
All right. So,
speaking of Uncharted,
yeah, pretty much. Uncharted is basically just a little bit of a ripoff of Indiana Jones. There's a new Indiana Jones that's coming out, Indiana Jones 5.
Oh, what? Excuse me?
And it will start shooting next year, says Harrison Ford. Now, we talked about how Tom Holland looks really young to be playing Nathan Drake. I think Harrison Ford is at this point a little too old to be playing Indiana Jones.
He's in his 70s now.
He is. Yeah, he's like mid-70s.
That's just insane.
Yeah. And if you look at the Crystal Skull, you start to think, yeah, maybe it's time to retire this character.
He didn't do anything physical. He had Shia LaBeouf do all the physical work.
Yeah.
And the rest was they CGI'd his arms and legs moving.
Yeah.
The only way that I can see this being a hit is if, I think we talked about something like this last week, is if he plays a teaching role in the movie.
Right.
Like in the Zorro movies. And basically passes on the mantle of Indiana Jones to someone else. And he's basically not doing anything, he's just behind the scenes. And maybe Tom Holland will be the new Indiana Jones.
Yeah, maybe. He'll
just
do it all.
Be really funny. If he was the young Indiana Jones getting taught and then brings it over to Uncharted.
Well, they could tie them both in.
Well,
that'd be something.
Uncharted will probably be released first because this one doesn't begin filming until next year.
Next year, yeah.
So, yeah,
they could have like a little end credit scene where he's like, "Oh, I have to go do something." Like, "Oh, what's your name, kid?" And he's like, "Oh, Nathan." Something like that. It'd be goofy, but it'd be fun. I'm hoping that this either Indiana Jones retires or he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely needs to be. Hope if he does die, I want it to be like a fist going through a chest, calling the Shock Today style, you know? Go out in a cool way.
Yeah.
Because you really like the Indiana Jones movies. The first couple.
Yes, I do. I like the first 3, yeah.
Gosh. Crystal Skull. That was actually the first midnight release that I ever went to.
Oh, that's too bad.
We showed up 3 hours early, and the whole night was redeemed because we snuck into Iron Man.
Oh, there you
go.
go.
The first one, because they came out at the same time.
That's right, they did.
Which one was more successful, do you think?
Yeah. I think the first midnight release I ever went to was, speaking of bad movies, The Phantom Menace, Episode 1. Man, I remember being super stoked about that.
You probably liked it when you saw it. Though,
I did.
Right?
I did. But I was only 14 at the time.
That movie, like, I know that it was not the greatest.
Right.
But it had some of the best choreographed fights in that entire movie franchise.
It did.
Just because of Darth Maul, which they should definitely bring him back.
Well, yeah.
Well, did he die in the Clone Wars show?
He died in Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. Yeah, he'd been hunting down since Clone Wars, hunting down Obi-Wan Kenobi, and in the Star Wars Rebels, which takes place just a couple years before A New Hope, he confronts Kenobi on Tatooine, and you think it's going to be this big epic fight, and ends up lasting literally 2 seconds, and Kenobi kills him. But they have this kind of cool scene with each other where they talk about, you know, someone's going to bring balance to the Force, and they kind of mention Luke, and it's kind of a cool scene. But they did bring Darth Maul back in, was it Solo? Yeah. In the end credit scenes of Solo, it shows Darth Maul.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know if they're ever going to continue on with that. Maybe not.
They should, just for that reason alone.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. But even now, looking back on it, Phantom Menace is not the worst of those 3 films. By far.
No.
Attack of the Clones is.
Just because of Jar Jar.
Yeah. I mean, even Jar Jar's all over Phantom Menace, but it has its redeeming qualities. And I will say, if you watch the entire Clone Wars cartoon, it really does help elevate those movies. Because it shows you kind of the bigger universe that could have been in those films, but they didn't do.
I did start watching those just because of FanX last year.
Yeah.
When we listened in on that panel for the guys who voiced them.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it. Like, I just got so many other things that I'm watching. It was just...
I get that.
It's more oriented towards a younger audience, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't have the time to sit there and watch...
It gets better.
12 episodes in a row.
It gets better. The first season is a little rough to get through because Ahsoka... I
just can't stand Ahsoka.
She's really annoying.
Yeah.
She is really annoying. But it does get better as it goes on.
It is really nice to see the time between Phantom Menace and Clone Wars, though.
Yeah.
Like, that was really cool. And, yeah. Anyways, so, I don't know if you saw this before I shared this story, but I saw this trailer about a week ago. Someone has recreated the entire Toy Story 3 movie in live action. So they're using stop-motion animation and some claymation to recreate the entire movie. And there was a trailer that was released on Reddit probably like a week ago. And it was a it's a shot-for-shot remake of the entire movie. And they played the trailer at the same time as the original trailer, and literally everything was the exact same. And it's crazy because I didn't know that some of these toys were actually toys in real life.
Yeah.
Like Lotso. They had a real Lotso, and I don't know if someone made that for this movie specifically.
That's got to be what it is.
But it's really neat.
Because I'm watching the trailer right now. I know there was... someone did... I don't know if it's these guys, but they did a shot-for-shot remake of the first Toy Story film.
It might have been these guys.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube, and I watched that one. And that was pretty fun, but... They had to have some of these be a little creative and probably made some of them.
Made custom for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or, I don't know, I'm sure that they sold a lot of these toys in stores. I mean, that was the whole goal of the first movie, is to sell toys.
That's true.
So maybe they picked these up on eBay.
It's very possible. Because obviously they're going to sell Woody and Buzz and...
Lotso,
Rex, Ham, Potato Head, Miss Potato Head. You can find that anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
It's really funny.
Alright. Boy, this is going to be a short episode.
What are we at right now?
A little over 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. We should have done a list.
Hey, we should have. That's alright. Maybe when we start talking about the movies, maybe that'll stretch it out a bit.
I don't know.
We'll see. Hey, it's a short episode. It's a short episode. What are you going to do? So, yeah. This past weekend... Was it this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. Dark Phoenix came out. This is kind of the end of Fox's run with the X-Men. It's kind of it was supposed to be the culmination of all these films, kind of their end game. Yep. Not so much, because Dark Phoenix has the worst Rotten Tomato score of any X-Men film.
I don't understand how the same director can ruin the same movie twice. Because he did The Last Stand. This director. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the same exact movie.
Yep.
It's the same plot. And The Last Stand was way better. It wasn't a great movie.
No, it wasn't.
But it was way better than this.
Yeah. I kept thinking, I have no interest right now in seeing this film. And I keep thinking, why? Why don't I want to see this? And then it hit me, I don't care about these characters.
Nope.
At all. Like Sophie Turner's Jean Grey, we've barely seen her in any of the other films.
She was in Apocalypse for a while.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
And we're supposed to care about her and Scott Summers' relationship, and we haven't even seen any of that.
Honestly,
who cares?
I think part of it is just poor casting.
That could be.
There is only 2 good casts in this entire movie, and it's Charles Xavier and Magneto.
Right. The guys that have been in all the other films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other 2, even Jennifer Lawrence, she's kind of a robot,
I think she's given up. I think she knew that this was going to be the last one. She's like, whatever.
Yeah. And, Sophie Turner, I know she's been in all the Game of Thrones and everything, but, oh my gosh, she is the new Kristen Stewart.
Really?
She just cannot, you don't care about her at all. When she's crying, you don't feel, any sort of empathy with her. She's just kind of vanilla.
Right.
She's the kind of person that goes to Wendy's and orders a vanilla Frosty like some sort of psychopath.
Yeah. I see what they're doing. And it was a good idea, because with First Class, which is arguably the best of these films, well, maybe that in Days of Future Past, but First Class was set in the 60s. They're setting everything up. Days of Future Past was set in the 70s. Apocalypse.
And they had Hugh Jackman, too.
And they had Hugh Jackman. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Apocalypse was in the 80s. And so now this one is in the 90s, I believe. And so they're going through pivotal moments of the X-Men franchise that were in the comic books. And I get that, and I can appreciate that. but they're not sowing the seeds to make this work. Like they didn't set up Jean Grey at all. They didn't set up Nightcrawler or any of these other characters that are in this. They really didn't set them up at all in these other films. But all of a sudden we're supposed to feel some sort of peril and supposed to feel, bad that these characters might die. Like, who cares?
You know what they should have done? And it would have cost way more money to do, but I think it would have paid off in the long run. They should have, before this movie, they should have given everyone their solo movies.
Yeah.
Their origin stories. Like, I would love to see Scott Summers' origin.
Mm-hmm.
Jean Grey's origin. Like, people want to see, like, characters evolving with their powers.
Yes.
Learning new things. Like, they don't want you to just, like, shove all these people that are super good at what they do already into a room and see what happens, which is basically what these movies are doing. It's like, I don't know, there's no progression.
Yeah.
Like, there's no character development at all.
Yes.
It's like something happens, this character's pissed, now we all want to kill him. Like, I don't know. It's just...
And the other thing is, these movies seem, yes, they're sequels, but they seem completely disconnected from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel like there's any sort of through line or, with any of these.
Mm-hmm. This one does reference the other ones a bit more than what Apocalypse and Days of Future Past did.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the basic storyline is they go into space to help NASA help save some astronauts or whatever. While they're doing that, Jean is forced to absorb all of this radiation that we don't know anything about.
All right.
And then she's fine. And then they come back and then things happen. Apparently she's not fine. She gets angry and runs away to try to find help. And then these random third-party thing, I won't give any spoilers about what they are or who they are, but they're coming and they want that power that she absorbed. And because it's something that happened, some of the X-Men want to kill her, some of them want to, keep her safe.
Yeah.
And it just all culminates into this nobody cares kind of... Like, I will give this movie one thing. The action scenes are great. For the mutants with unique powers. Like, I hate the mutants that have, like, telekinetic abilities, because all it ends up being is just shots of them concentrating and then them, like,
really hard,
holding their arms out and trying to do stuff like that. It's like, no, I want to see, what's the speedy guy's name? Quicksilver. I knew Silver was somewhere in there for some reason. I just couldn't remember it. Quicksilver. I like seeing him use his powers.
Yeah.
I like seeing Storm and Nightcrawler. But then again, it's like, we don't... Like, none of these characters are known. They've never been in any other movies, except for Scott Summers. He was in... you
mean, talking about Cyclops. I mean, he's been in...
Yeah.
Some version of him has been in pretty much every one of these films.
Yeah. Well, I just mean the actor. Like, he's...
Oh, the actor. Okay. Yeah.
Because he was in...
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. I think he was in something... No, Ready Player One was between this movie and Apocalypse. So that's...
Yeah.
He's not a very good actor. Like, you don't care about their relationship, him and Jean Grey, and
that's the thing. You're supposed to, because that's kind of the
point.
That's kind of the crux of this whole storyline, is the relationship between Jean Grey and Scott Summers.
You don't want Jean Grey to die, because then Scott will be sad, but you don't care if either of them die or are sad.
Right.
It's like, what even is the point? And, like, you don't even care about Raven, and she's been in every single one of these movies. Yeah. It's because Jennifer Lawrence is not a great actress in these types of roles.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it. I think she's great in other things, like in Passengers.
Jennifer Lawrence, I think, shines best in dramatic roles.
Mm-hmm.
In these where she has to be physical and has to be intimidating, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
She doesn't do well with action.
Yeah, and it's just... I don't know. I enjoyed the action of this scene.
Yeah.
The story was stupid. You couldn't connect to any of the characters. It wasn't like Days of Future Past where Charles Xavier was an alcoholic and you wanted him to get better and use his powers again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Overall, I would say out of 5, there's not really anything notable in this to... I don't know. Out of 5, let's just say mutants, because I can't think of anything else.
All right.
Out of 5 mutants, I would give it a solid 1.5. And I think that's the lowest rating I've ever given anything on this podcast.
I think so, and you tend to be a lot more forgiving with films than AJ and I are.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes scores on here?
It is sitting at... Let me check really quick. Let's see. According to Rotten Tomatoes, Dark Phoenix's score of 21% with 90 reviews counted as of this writing is an all-time lowest mark for the series. So, I don't know if it's changed at all, but when they wrote this article, it was at 21%.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that sad thing is, like, yesterday I went with my mom and my wife and one of my uncles, and they all liked the movie.
Yeah.
But they just also, you know, they're easily impressed, I think, when it comes to superhero movies.
Right.
But I have a higher standard than that, I think. So, yeah, right now the tomato meter is 22% for critics.
Okay.
And 65% for viewers.
Really?
I don't know.
See, and that doesn't go up with what I'm seeing online. Everybody does not like this film. Nobody likes it.
Well, the kind of people that post online aren't the kind of people that give, you know, good reviews to movies.
Right.
They're not simpletons.
My brother also saw it yesterday, and his quick response, or his quick review was, well, I didn't think Dark Phoenix was all that horrible. That's all he said.
I will say this. It would be a genius move if they did this on purpose. They made it a bad movie on purpose.
Yeah.
And then, like a phoenix who rises from the ashes, they create a new one that's way better in, like, a couple years. Mm-hmm. I won't see it, though. I don't trust them.
The only way I think I'll see an X-Men film, I mean, because Marvel is going to take it over. And so...
That's true.
Yeah, hopefully... the Marvel will take the reins and it'll be a lot better than what it has been.
You know, though, if Marvel takes over and makes its own X-Men movies, you know Deadpool's going to be in them.
That's true, and I think we talked about this. But even if he is, they've got to really water him down. I'm sure it'll... Ryan Reynolds... Deadpool's going to be the new... Wolverine or Hugh Jackman with these films. Mm-hmm. Like, he'll be the one that will be cameos and have guest appearances and that sort of thing.
To bring in the viewers.
Bring in the viewers, yeah.
But he's going to be the easiest character to water down, too, because he's a self-aware character.
Right.
He knows that he's in a movie. And so you can make so many jokes off of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I'm excited. I hope they do.
Yeah. And that... The other problem with Fox's X-Men movies is the timelines never matched up at all. Mm-hmm. They never made any sense. It was so
great
convoluted.
If these were actual prequels to the movies that came out 16 years ago.
Yeah.
17 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, first one came out in 2000. So 19 years ago.
Wow. I'm old.
Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah. So I also saw a couple films. 3, actually.
Wow.
Last week I forgot to talk about Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Animated?
Yes, animated.
I knew that. Don't know why I would ask.
And it's based off of a series of comics that kind of these one-shot comics of Batman obviously teaming up with the Ninja Turtles. Mm-hmm. And The story goes that Shredder has teamed up with Ra's al Ghul, and they're going to take the ooze and basically infect all of Gotham City, to where they turn into these mutated creatures and basically destroy the city. So there's that. That's basically the premise.
Okay.
Now, I didn't know how this movie would go. I didn't know if it was going to be something I enjoyed because I love the Ninja Turtles so much. But, man, it is fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah. It is great. If you are a Batman fan at all, if you're a Ninja Turtles fan at all, there are so many references and I mean deep references and Easter eggs from both these universes. Like with the Ninja Turtles, there's callbacks to the quick callbacks to the other Ninja Turtles films, to the video games, to the other cartoons. With Batman, there's callbacks to like there's a shot where you see in the Batcave his suits, and you see like the original suit that Bob Kane created, which is like the red jumpsuit with the dumb little mask. And, yeah. And unless you really know your Batman lore, you wouldn't even know what the heck that is. But it has a lot of good action in it. The Ninja Turtles are pretty spot on. There's a lot of cameos in it from a lot of the Batman villains. There's a great fight. The fight scenes in this are awesome. The two best are Batman versus Shredder, which is great.
Just saying that.
Yeah. Because they're both experts at martial arts. So, and then Batman versus the Ninja Turtles. Ooh. Which he owns them, by the way.
How could he not? They're turtles.
He was actually... him and Shredder are actually pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. That was cool that neither one of them really had the edge. But yeah, man, it's funny. It's action-packed. It's probably one of the best Batman animated films I've seen, and Ninja Turtle animated films I've seen.
What's the tone of the movie? Is it more dark like a Batman movie, or is it more like lighthearted like a Ninja Turtle?
It goes back and forth. Because Shredder ends up killing one of his foot soldiers so he doesn't talk. That was a surprise. Just a ninja star to the head.
Wow.
And then you cut to like the Ninja Turtles, skateboarding, or Michelangelo skateboarding through Wayne Manor. So it really straddles the line between both and does it really well. Yeah, the voice cast is really good.
So if you're a Batman fan
Yeah.
and you don't know anything about the Ninja Turtles, is this a good segue into getting to like the Ninja Turtles? And vice versa?
I would say yes. Yeah. Because they really play up all of the Ninja Turtles
Individual personalities.
Yeah. So you get the sense who they are. Michelangelo, as much as he's my least favorite turtle, he steals most of the scenes he's in. Because he's really funny. You get a lot of fun banter between like Damian Wayne, Robin, and Raphael, Batgirl and Donatello, because they're the tech ones, and yeah. Then Leonardo and Batman, because they're kind of the stoic leaders, and then Michelangelo and Alfred. Anyway,
So, it's just a good way to get your feet wet for both universes.
Yeah.
What's the name of the movie again?
Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Cool.
So
it's one of those things, just like Batman versus Superman, where it's
Yeah.
Batman versus the Ninja Turtles, but really not.
not really. He has one fight with him, and then they become friends.
They should just turn versus into and the.
Yeah, they should.
And then they could turn it into a band if they want.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, we're Batman and the Ninja Turtles!
That'd be cool. Yeah. Those guys that do the Batman heavy metal on YouTube, they can throw in the Ninja Turtles. So out of 5, I'm also going to say mutants.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'm probably like a 4
Wow.
because I wanted to watch it again, like right after.
That's some high praise, Troy.
Yeah.
Especially from you. It's like we switched places.
I know. I was more joyful and you were more cynical.
Yes.
Something else I watched, and I won't spend too much time on this one, but it's called Table 19. See, my plan was, because of my all-consuming obsession with Anna Kendrick, my plan was to watch a different Anna Kendrick movie that I haven't seen all last week. I got through 1.5.
And
just because I got busy doing other things, that's all.
And Table 19, that's the wedding one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to see that one in theaters, but I kind of missed it. So I found it. And the story is basically Anna Kendrick's character gets invited to this wedding that she had planned with her best friend, who's the bride. And she ends up getting dumped by the best man, and so
she's basically like out of the wedding portion. Like,
yes,
she's no longer involved in the wedding.
She was at table 1. Now she's at table 19. She got pushed out with all the weirdos.
Yeah, with the island, the table of misfit toys.
Yes, exactly. And so that's basically the premise. And so the other people at the table, you'll know who they are. It's Lisa Kudrow from Friends, Craig Robinson from The Office.
Yeah, and he's Daryl, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's got such a white name.
He does. Stephen Merchant, funny British
He's
actor
the guy
and comedian.
in Yes Man, right?
No. Stephen Merchant. He was in. You'll know him if you saw him.
I'll look him up.
Really tall, lanky guy.
Oh yeah, looks like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, he's got really like bug eyes, and
yeah, he's a really funny guy.
He's really funny. And then a few other people on the table, but it's basically them kind of coping with the fact that they're not at. They're this table that
people were obligated to invite.
Yes, exactly. And the kind of realization of that, and then you kind of get more into why they're there, why they got invited, how they're related to the bride and the groom, and it's a fun little movie about these characters and about it's a very character-driven movie. I'll say that. Not. The plot's pretty simple, but it's these characters and their stories that drive the film.
Yeah.
So out of 5
guests,
I'm gonna say wedding cakes.
Wedding cakes?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it at. I'm probably sitting at 3.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
A normal person's 4.5.
Right. Yeah, I was going to watch. The next one I was going to watch was a movie called Elsewhere that she did like way back in 2009. Yeah, but as I was driving my pirate ship through the bay, I kept running into the East India Trading Company, and I couldn't get the booty. If that makes any sense to anybody who's listening.
Were you playing Assassin's Creed?
No. I had trouble getting it onto my computer.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a little slow on the uptake.
I was just going for the whole, pirate metaphor. Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Next one. One that's a bit more recent. I Am Mother.
Yes.
Yes. This one just came out on Netflix.
Netflix original film.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty unique story, too.
Yes. So if you saw the trailer, it's the story of this robot who the rest of the planet is extinct. Humans basically extinct, but this robot starts to create life, and she creates a daughter, basically. Mm-hmm. And so you see this daughter start to grow up, and then all of a sudden, and it's not a spoilers because it's in the trailer, another human appears. What? Played by Hilary Swank.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's conflicted. The daughter's conflicted about who's telling the truth and who's lying. Mm-hmm. Is her mother lying about humanity? Are they really not gone? Is Hilary Swank lying that there are people out there, that there is no, that the world is not infected, blah, blah, blah. And so she has to decide, obviously who's lying, who's not. But it's, the whole movie basically takes place in this little, what would you call it? Living area that this robot's created. And it's her mother and daughter, and they're basically living as such. I mean, she is doing homeschooling, she's doing all this stuff.
They're just grown up.
Yeah, basically living their life. It reminds me of a lot of things. The robot looks a lot like the one from the Netflix Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Like a lot like it. And I think that was a suit. I think there was somebody in there. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
So it wasn't CG.
No, it wasn't CG. Which, to its credit, it wasn't CG.
Yeah, kudos. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anytime you can do practical effects, not only does it make more sense for the budget of the movie, it makes it seem more real.
Yes.
Because it is. It's real.
And it starts off kind of slow, but then it starts to pick up, and when truths are uncovered, it gets really dark really quick.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's a couple scenes in there where the implications are really disturbing. Anyway. So it's very, oh, here you go. It's basically like a long Twilight Zone episode.
Okay.
Yeah. It starts out like everything's normal, and then
gradually gets more uncomfortable.
Yeah, more uncomfortable. Then there's thing happens, and then you realize, oh, there's this twist, and yeah. It reminded me of a Twilight Zone episode.
So it's more of like a psychological thriller at the end, or
I would call it a thriller. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not horror, but yeah, it does get pretty intense there.
Cool.
So out of 5 fetuses,
okay,
embryos, I would give it like probably 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just average.
Yeah.
It's worth seeing because it's free.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And not obtained illegally.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a good way to spend an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want, it's not too violent. There's not really any swear words, I don't think. I mean, an F-bomb is dropped, but that's about it. Yeah, other than that, it's fairly clean. It's just more of what they imply that's dark. They don't really actually show much. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Yeah. Well, we managed to stretch it.
What are we at now?
We're almost at 50 minutes.
Nice. And that's right in our golden window.
Yep.
Between 45 minutes and an hour and a half.
I told you, once we got to the movies,
Yeah.
stretch it out a bit.
Well, I mean, you got to expect the episode, there's, 1/3 less people, so it's going to take 1/3 less time.
It's true. You don't have as many people, putting in conversations and
Going off on large Star Wars tangents.
and yeah. Don't have you and AJ disagreeing about something.
Or fist bumping.
Yeah. Or high-fiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, that being said, here's where you can find all of our episodes. You can go to worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, and on CosmicPotato.com, which, by the way, you're going to hear me here in the near future a lot more on Cosmic Potato because I'm going to start up, Sean and I are starting up a new podcast. Or he is, and he asked me to be a part of it.
Cool.
But more details to come. On social media, we're at facebook.com/WorldWarG Podcast, Twitter and Instagram. We're on @WWG Podcast. You can also find all of our merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/WorldWarG. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. You can also call or text the show at any time at 385-240-1692. So this has been World War G episode 222. That has been Colton.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends.